You've all gotten the message, haven't you? You send a proposal over, and then they send you a text or an email back or a phone call, and they say to you, we need you to break this out line by line. Don't you love that one? And you know what you say? You basically go, you. Not really, just kidding. See, today I'm going to share how we teach people to deal with this request when somebody wants you to break something out line by line. And I think you're going to enjoy this one. Let's go. All right, so I want to open this up with a screenshot that I'm going to read here. And I'm hiding the names because this was in our Facebook group, and I don't want to embarrass somebody here more than they already embarrassed themselves in the private group of 10,000 people. So, and this is a reply that we see often. This is always a hot topic in our free Facebook group called the Contractor Fight. And every time I see people and the rebuttal to this request, I literally want to pull my junk off and throw it against the wall. Okay, because it drives me crazy. By the way, you never pull off your own junk. Okay, so this dude, we'll just call him Tom. We'll call everyone in this story Tom. Okay, there we go. I'll just own this. So Tom posted, ha ha ha. Okay, and then he did a screenshot of his text where he said, the customer texted, "Hi, Tom, can you send me a breakdown of your costs, please?" Pretty nice request, right? Like, it was polite. It wasn't them being a jerk or whatever. And Tom replied, "Hi, Tom. Breakdown is as follows. The cost to do the job is $2,545. The cost to not do the job is $0. Regards, Tom." Okay, so I wanted to share that with you, and I said dollars, it's really pounds because it was somebody over in the UK or someone that posted this. So if you're looking at the screenshot, you're going, that's not a dollar sign, but whatever. You get the damn point, hopefully. So my friends, listen, that is the worst thing you can do. And there's many reasons. Number one, now I don't know the whole history of this interaction, all right? But chances are the request was an innocent request by a homeowner or a customer or prospect. You have to remember, I was taught many years ago by a coach that we had that customers don't go to customer school. They don't know that they're not supposed to ask you to break shit down. They don't know that they don't need to get 3 bids and all this other garbage and compare things the way, you know, all those stupid third-party sites tell you to do things on the internet today, right? And so what I see happen so many times is the sale is lost right out of the get-go by the initial reply of the contractor, okay? Guys, you don't have to be a dick about it, okay? You can address this in a very firm way that helps you to stay in control, and really that's my first point here is you are in control. You're the professional, all right? You don't go to a restaurant and go, can you break down the cost of the patty and the slice of cheese and the lettuce and all this other? You don't go to get knee surgery and say, I need you to break down how much it costs to cut my knee open, how much it costs to shoot some anesthesia in my body or whatever it is, how much is each stitch cost and things like that. All right? And the reason, and that's ridiculous, right? Well, the reason we don't do that is because the knee surgeon has built credibility. All right? He's communicated expertise in most cases. Otherwise, you wouldn't be having them cut you open. All right? So, point is, you have to stay in control of the sales process. Second thing here, and I'm going to share a post here in a minute that I call my secret weapon reply to this request from customers that I used hundreds and hundreds of times through the years with great success. But instead of replying when somebody says, hey, can you break this down? Instead of going, fuck you, okay, or some other variant of a reply that communicates that, and being a smart ass about it, because remember, everything you do and everything you don't do builds your brand or hurts your brand. All right? So the way you communicate matters. So dig into the motive. I prefer to be on the phone. If I got that text, I'd call the guy. I'd go, hey man, it's Tom. I saw your text, I just wanted to call. Hey, just out of curiosity, digging into motive, what are you hoping to learn by breaking things down? Is there something I can help you with? Something I can clarify for you? Okay? Like, go at it with a curious mindset instead of just thinking that they're on the attack. Because oftentimes they're not. They just don't know. Okay? So, at the risk of this video being way longer than it needs to be, I'm going to get to the point and give you my secret weapon here. Okay? Because if you just did this, this problem would go away. So number one, you're in control. Number two, dig into the motive more. And number three, my secret weapon. So I'm going to read a Facebook post that I put in our Battleground group for you. I'm literally going to read it word for word. Okay? As a painting contractor, I was frequently asked to break my bids down, room by room, item by item. How much for the ceiling, the baseboards, etc. As you can see, it would get pretty cumbersome to do that. I actually accommodated that request. Here's why. Number one, I had an estimating software that itemized everything automatically and it took me 1 minute. Number two, I would simply go in and change the profit margin when they wanted it broken down. I would have 50% to the price. So if a room was $1,000 as part of the whole job, it would be $1,500 when broken down as a line item. I would tell them that we had a $1,000 minimum for any job. That means if they wanted one ceiling painted after they looked at the breakdown, the ceiling would be at least $1,000. This was all done, of course, after I would ask questions about what they were hoping to find by breaking the bid down, etc. I would then explain that the reason that everything is 50% higher, and side note here that I'm not reading you guys, is I wouldn't tell them it was 50% higher. I would let them figure that out on their own. But I'd say the reason everything is higher, or so much higher, is because I don't know which individual items they're going to choose. I priced the job to do the whole job, which means economy of scale pricing would fit into the equation when the whole job was done. This would result in them just going with the whole thing. Trust was built. Keep this tactic in your back pocket and pull it out if you ever need it. So listen, we want to make it easy for people to do business with us. Every time you're asked a question or feel like you're backed into a corner, if you feel like you got to come out with your fists up all the time, you're going to burn a lot of bridges. I've salvaged hundreds of projects through the years simply by digging into the motive more, being accommodating, but notice the accommodation, you guys, was on my terms. Okay? I'm totally happy for you to break this down for you. But it was my last resort. It was the last arrow in my quiver, if you want to call it that. So, listen, challenge for you guys here today is this. If you feel threatened every time you get asked a question like that, that is basically an indicator that you have not been trained properly as a salesperson. It's that simple. Sales is a perishable skill. How to deal with these requests and certain objections and tonality and all the things that we talk about in the contractor fight, all right? If you're not consistently practicing those things like a batter in the batting cages doing BP all the time, all right, you're going to struggle when it's game time. And then when we struggle, we don't know what to do because we haven't role-played scenarios and all that stuff. Then what happens? We get defensive, we start justifying, the spirit of the conversation goes out the window, and now you're just an asshole. So my challenge for you is this: get some damn sales training. All right? You don't see a professional golfer or a baseball player not continue to practice because those skills are perishable. If I go to the gun range, which I frequently do, I go because it's a perishable skill that if I'm not continuing to practice, I'm going to struggle when it comes game time. So head to the link that we have for you here for our Sales Warrior Workshop. Check out what we have going, and damn it, your bank account's going to grow when you do that. You guys rock. I got to roll. I'm out.